Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. How is everybody on this fine, whatever day of the week it is? I'm so lost being that we're on break. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, so I'm off. I spent Christmas Day, the evening at night, and then like all day Monday and part of yesterday feeling like garbage. So, but today I feel pretty good, back to myself. The kids are bouncing back, so all is well. Hey, boss bitch, Amanda. How are you, ladies? So I was gonna go live this morning, but I had two adults. Being laid up for that like day and a half like threw me off. I had banking to do, and then the holiday being Monday, everything was closed. So I was like, you know what? I need to get up and out of the house, get stuff done, which I did, and I feel good about. Um, but here we are. Oh, good. I'm so glad you're here to troll. Thank you for announcing yourself. Hey, Dutchy. So, let me see if I can pull up. Uh, See, I wanted to use my computer. I was first of all, couple things right off the bat. One, how is my sound? Because I'm on my phone. Because I gave up the computer to the toddler because I just was not going to have that fight. And if it like she could have a little downtime. So I'm on my phone. I'm using my actual headphone, like you know, not earbuds, headphones. So I'm just curious how my sound is. Is it garbage? Because then I could just and I'm not plugged in. Hey meow. Well, check your DM later. It's okay. Do I sound like I'm like underwater in a tunnel? I feel like that's what happens sometimes. Maybe I'm wearing these things backwards. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, yes. If you hit it, Manda, it just like, on TikTok or Instagram when somebody's live, you can tap and you see the hearts float up the screen. That's what they mean. But I can only see it on the YouTube side. Let me try. Okay. By any chance, does that change the sound? Me flipping these things around. Hey, Chicky. It's not brand new. I've seen it in other live streams. I'm surprised that I haven't. So it must be one of those things that they're like trialing out. Um, but yeah, I guess it's like maybe it's in place of the like button, not in place of the like button, but shows engagement or something. I don't know. Well, I'm a bougie bitch, Manda. What can I say? I'm a bougie bitch. I get the fanciest of the fancy. Hey, bartender. Merry Christmas. I feel like I haven't talked to you. It's only been a couple days, but it feels like forever. So, let me know, guys, please, if my sound gets really bad. Like I said, and I'm watching from StreamYard. I'm sorry. I know I suck. I just don't have YouTube on. Um, my other one went up, so maybe she'll transition over to the television. Oh, that's so funny. All right, so I don't know if anybody saw my thumbnail. Hold on, let me see if I can put it up for you guys. If you can name where this is from, um, it's just it's a quote from a book. Right. So I know what I'm about to say is, and I was gonna go live no matter what today, right? Because I just haven't in a while. I'm off this week. Perfect time to do it. I was like, this is great. I can go midday or preferably in the morning, and then we can. Hold on one second. Oh, I'll take the banner down. Is that you? You? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. I just got new earbuds.
Is there?
It's just making sure.
Oh, okay. I'm like, is there a really bad lag, or were you just waiting a second?
No,
Okay, let me take this down. I think
just
there's a
me.
little lag. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, so no, I was just saying that I was gonna go live no matter what, but then like I have too much time on my hands when I'm off from work. I start to I start paying attention to too much shit, and then I start stewing. Uh, I have too much time. What is that saying? Idle hands are the devil's playground or whatever.
Yes.
So, let's see what's going on here. Oh, Chickie's grounded. Okay. It's from my ass? Me? My ass? I don't know what that means.
Hi,
Okay.
everybody.
So, how are you feeling first and foremost? That's the priority right now.
I'm better. You can
Good.
hear my voice. It's lovely. But
You sound better than I imagined you sound a couple days ago, even though I didn't really get to hear you. But I know
yeah,
it's been rough. It's been a rough one. Yeah, whatever had like Sunday night into Monday. Monday was terrible. I never got out of bed Monday. I never can do that. But just happened to be Joe was home, so I was able to stay in bed. But I think that like made a huge difference because by Monday night and then into yesterday, I felt pretty good. I was pretty much starting to get back to myself outside of the congestion. But now he called me and he's on the ship and he said he feels like trash. I was like, well, hopefully it's just the same thing as me, 24 hours. So,
yeah, hopefully.
but yeah, so and the kids are good. But yeah, so then I was just thinking about how like and I know you saw some of the stuff I'm going to be referring to like and I'm going to try my best because I try not to like point out specifics because I don't want to seem to be like targeting one person or coming for one person because it isn't just one person. It's like a collection of people that have this like really bizarre mindset. I feel like that's my word of the day, bizarre. I've been using it a lot. But they have this mindset where it's like that all or nothing type of thing where it's like you're either for us or against us and if even when something is so blatantly wrong, whether it is a lie, whether somebody misinterprets something, whether we're talking about the color of the sky, it doesn't matter if it involves people that are considered the enemy, they will die on that hill to
Yeah.
keep that lie going. It's so incredibly frustrating. And I know it's YouTube and I get it. And, I'm all about having some good, healthy discourse, but it's getting to the point where it's just like, oh my God, you people are crazy. Terry, hello, you little kitty cat. We're just kibitzing. That's what we're doing. But anyway, so I just want to kind of like voice my frustrations with some like minded individuals. I want my own echo chamber, damn it.
Okay, well, I have to vent this real quick because I was listening to someone right before you went live, an old live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Not old, but like Christmas Day. And I was hearing this person complain about how difficult it is and how nobody understands and they just day in and day out they've got people coming at them and how is anybody supposed to handle this? And the nurse in me immediately went, you've got to be kidding me. Like, why don't you go to work in an intensive care unit with patients that are dying, take care of them, keep them alive for 12 hours, deal with family members, codes, doctors. You try to do that every day. And then you can come tell me how hard your day was. I'm sorry, that's just
No, I
me
know.
being crappy, but
Sorry, I was chewing at the same time. It's not. It's because it gets frustrating to see people who I think are a lot of the creators of chaos, or I like to say sometimes like, you create your own misery, or you stew in your own misery, or you know, you participate. Like the one thing that, and I'm going to specifically talk about trauma. Sorry guys for anybody that hates the sound of chewing. I was muted and then now I'm not, so I'm sorry. I'm done. I promise I won't
sorry,
do it again.
Dutchie.
Sorry, Dutchie. Hey, Sancho. So, what I was going to say was that I'm going to specifically talk about the trauma community because if they don't embrace that they're a drama community now, I don't know what's going to happen. They're going to either implode if they haven't already. They're losing their minds. They just talk about how much they don't want the drama, but then continue to contribute to the drama, and then say that they're not drama, but then will not let anything go, or will
But
restart or rehash or It's just so. I don't know why I keep listening. I guess I'm part of the problem because I keep listening and I keep paying
but they're
attention.
light drama because
Oh yeah,
they have
yeah.
no clue what goes on
True,
in the real drama.
true, true. Well, I mean, there's like a lot of this, like people saying. So it seems to be popular again to hear this real life. People are going real life on me. Like I feel like for a while there was like people are talking about my kids, or people are talking about my parenting, or people are doxing. But now it's this like real life thing again. But like real life meaning what? Like, oh well, somebody called my family, or egged my car, or contacted my job. Well, that to me is that's real life. But like
Yeah,
you gotta kind of prove that that's happening if you're going to be accusing people of it. You can't just be like running around saying these things are going on. It's just because it just creates more chaos, and it just continues to stir the pot. So like either nip it in the butt, and or just go away. Don't participate anymore. Stop, because it's affecting your real life, right?
yeah.
I mean, like, so what do you think the solution is? Like the whole thing. I'm sure if anybody was over in Rama saw my comment on CJ's post or community post or whatever, and then just kind of got carried away because it was just people just cannot see past their rage to see that what I was trying to say, but that's neither here nor there. But like she back to kind of like what Jen said about like let's just use the RP for example, right? Like any sort of like sharing of intimate photos. So what do you think the solution is? Do you think it should be go legal and just let the law, or any type of real life, if it's really truly affecting, like somebody's knocking on your windows, somebody's egging your car, somebody's you know vandalizing your home, harassing your children via,
Okay,
with some sort of footprint, right? Like by text or DMs.
right.
Like, do you just go online and scream and cry about it, or do you get law enforcement involved and then never talk about it again? I mean, I don't know. That to me just seems
Yeah,
like,
I have so much to say on that.
I mean, that just makes
Um,
sense, right?
well, so first of all, uh, law enforcement, like, I don't know what police these people are talking to because I don't buy a lot of it. Because I've had situations where I've had to go to a DA and press charges on someone and see the process of, then it takes time. They have to do their investigation, they have to gather their evidence, they have to accept it as a case that it's something that they can even press criminal charges on. And in most states, doxing is not going to be something that's a criminal charge unless it's actually put somebody in imminent danger. And the protective order thing too, I don't
Sure.
understand. Like, yes, I could go to my police station right now and say, already said she's coming to beat me up, and
Hmm.
could get a temporary protective order right then and there. But then there's going to be a trial, and you have to go before a judge, and they have to hear it and see that there's imminent danger. And some of the things that I'm hearing, like, it's just ridiculous to me. I don't
So
understand why people can't ignore
I that has always been my
the
stance, but
opinions of others.
I I do not understand it either. I've always said like when it comes to the words, right? Like I understand when there's like actual like interaction, right? Like I said, somebody's egging your car, they're banging on your windows, they're,
Hmm.
calling your kids or something like that. Like I get that. But when it comes down to all the other stuff, like the words, the back and forth, like unless you're enjoying it and you want to be part of a drama community and you want to clap back and go back and forth, fine. Then do that. Be that. But if you're going to cry about it, then I would think, because I've seen it be effective before where you just kind of stop engaging and it goes away.
Right.
I've seen it be effective in much more contentious situations than what I've been seeing as of late. I don't know. It's just something that oh, maybe it got deleted, meow. I don't know. It was under,
No, it was,
oh, it,
yeah.
it was a comment on a comment. So Angela, I don't want to dox her or say her name. Angela Clips and Giggles, I think, made a
Yeah.
comment. It's in one of those like there's like 60 or 70 comments below that. You'll see it because I did get a little carried away and wrote like dissertations. So I apologize in advance. You
And I
might want to
joined
wait till
in.
later. Yeah, you might want to wait till later and read it. But that was just an example of like, and just to kind of so people understand what I'm referencing, there was a situation between some other creators, whatever, it doesn't matter. But a particular woman, a creator, a female creator, um, was being accused. I don't even know if accused is the right word, but people were trying to reiterate or retell what happened. And I had happened to watch it happen live. And I was correcting the narrative because they were totally saying something that didn't happen, happened. And therefore, as you know, when we engage in these sort of back and forths on YouTube, where it goes, you get a lot of different opinions, but it never was about what I was talking about. It was about the other creator and how much they can't stand
Yeah.
him and that she was on it. Like, it wasn't about that, well, you guys are saying she said or did something she didn't do. You don't care about that. You don't care about the lie that was just told or that you just told or that your friend just told. You just care because somebody else is involved that y'all hate. Like, it's just so frustrating at this point. And I know I'm part of the problem because I engage. But I just wish, like, don't you wish you could just like shake people sometimes and be like, just listen
Well,
for a
yeah.
second, just stop, take a step back, forget everything else, put your personal feelings aside and just listen to the facts and just take a deep breath and as my little one always says, and slow down, and just think about it because what you're just sounds like a nutter. But
Well, yeah,
here we
and
are.
they
Hey,
know
Alex.
that
Hey, Den.
um
Pam.
that creator that they're defending, they know that she doesn't look into things. Like they know they can
Hey,
type
Shifty.
all this twisted crap and she's gonna run with it. She's not gonna look into it. She's not gonna watch it.
Well, yeah, of course not. I
They
mean,
all know
and
that.
yeah, and I mean, I think there's a lot of people that rely on like clip channels and rely on what their friends or their team or their community are telling them, as for feedback or to use for content. But that is a dangerous, slippery slope. Like if you're going to be getting on panels or you're going to be kicking out community posts or firing up live streams about somebody, you better know what you're talking about because it's so easily, we're like, YouTube is just one big receipt, right? So it's always there somewhere. People, private their streams, delete them, whatever, somebody's going to have it. So you should know what you're talking about when you're going to kind of fire off from the hip. Hey, ICB. Hi, Shift. I just want to say hi to a few people. Hey, Heather. Um,
Hey
yes, Terry, I
everybody.
do. I do want to shake people. Um,
Hey
um,
Cece.
I want to tell, or tell, gosh, I wanted to comment on this. Meow. I feel like this this is not just a Jen Lu thing. Like, yes, it's a Jen Lu thing because that was the most recent event, but this is a happens to so many of us, right? Whether they're a sub or they create, content or they do like what I do, just sometimes fire up a live stream where you have this gatekeeping or this policing of YouTube and chats. I mean, one of the comments I got yesterday was something like any woman, that's what it specifically said, that goes into Lycan's chats. Now, mind you, this was not about Lycan. Whatever was going on with Jen and Lycan was about Lycan. This was specifically about, they said that Jen did and said something she didn't say and do. That was it. Nothing about Lycan, okay? But this is the immediate response. You are, he's like Manson and you're all the Manson girls and something about you guys participating in the chat. She deleted that comment after I responded and said, that's really a bizarre way to think about a bunch of strangers you know nothing about. And this had nothing to do with that. This had to do with correcting, a lie or whatever. I don't know. It's all there. But she deleted that Manson comment, so then it makes me look like whatever. But the point is, that that was a classic example of this like policing because then all those people that hate that one content creator then gang up on that person when it had nothing to do with that content creator, and they
Yeah.
make you feel like you're doing something. I mean, like for me personally, I don't care, but I could see where the pressure can affect people where they're like, okay, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with people, saying I'm something that I'm not or taking it personal and then stop not, and then don't go where they want to go or be afraid to chat in live chats. And that's the whole point of live streaming and the chat box, is to be able to engage, at least for me, is to be able to have
Yes,
conversation
Denizen,
with other adults. Hey Den, what
exactly.
happened? I don't see his
Good
comments
question.
in
That
the
is
StreamYard.
exactly why I don't understand. That's my point. I don't understand why people care, especially
We
if
were
it's
just
somebody
saying
you
that.
don't
I
like.
know. I know. I say it all the time. Especially when it's somebody if somebody that I don't care for, you know, came out and said, or even if I don't know them, I can care for them, not care for them, but somebody to know, I do not take that personal. Like I may be a little like, oh, a little hairy eyeball or something, like whatever, but I certainly am not gonna like stew on it and cry about it and be upset that somebody, told, I find it like that is, we don't know anybody on here. These are not people you're having over for
Yeah.
dinner. They're not babysitting your kids. They're not, cooking your meals. You don't really need to know much about them other than what you're talking about in a conversation. So it is. It's bizarre. Hey, Amanda.
Yeah, I'm not going to be on the live stream on Christmas Day
Oh.
to refute something that has been said about me that I
Mm-hmm.
still don't fully understand, but
Yep.
um like I don't care. I have confidence in myself. I know who I am. My friends know who I am. I don't care if they want to spread rumors about me. Go ahead.
Then so be it. So be it. Yeah, there's definitely a mob mentality shift, and I think that's kind of like what I was getting to with like these, like where you speak your mind, you speak your piece, you share your opinion. Maybe it's not the popular opinion, or like that saying, you got to read the room. Maybe in that group
Yeah.
or in that particular arena, it's not the popular opinion, but we should still be able to share it. That's what we're here for. I mean, at least
Yeah.
that's what I'm here for, is to listen to people's opinions, hear different ideas. Yes, I'm entertained by the drama, absolutely, but I like to hear different sides, because you know what, my mind can change, and that's okay. I could think one way and then be convinced to think another if I see the right sort of information presented. I mean, that's, I don't know why that's such a foreign concept for some, and there's just this black and white, no in between, is really mind boggling. There are so many adults, like, I'm concerned that can't do that. Like they can't, I don't know, question, or they're afraid to question. Maybe I don't know. It's a little bit
Well,
concerning though.
and like that's what I said in my reply on that post was I don't understand this. What don't y'all get about adults speaking when me and you disagree, and we disagree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Different creators. You
yeah,
watch people I don't,
yep,
vice versa. But we sit down and I want to hear what your thoughts are on the person. Why don't you like them? I want to know. And we talk about it, and then I either change my mind and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go listen to that, or we just disagree. And like
yep,
that's being an adult. Why can
absolutely.
people
There
not
is.
do that anymore?
Yep, we've had conversations, and I've had them with Meow too. And welcome, Meow. I hope
Hey,
that's you. I knew it
it's
was you
me.
because I sent you the link privately. But
Right.
we've had conversations. I think all three of us separately, maybe even together at times, where we are maybe discussing something that we saw, or like, hey, go watch this, and then maybe we don't particularly enjoy a certain creator. I have never considered any of the people that I talk to regularly on social media, on YouTube in particular. I have never crossed my mind to say, oh my God, she was in, or he was in so and so's chat, that dirty rat bastard. I am firing up alive, and I am going to read them for filth and drag them up and down these YouTube streets because they were in that chat. That is preposterous to me. Like that is just insane. But that's what we're witnessing, and it does create, like I think Schiff said it, like almost like that mob mentality, because people get on board with that for some reason, and then you get a bunch of people coming at one person, all because they put an emoji in a chat of some other content creator's mortal enemy. Like it's wild. It's wild. Hey,
Right.
Hey, Savage.
I
Hey, Vital.
had a situation once where this was back when Mrs. P was still on YouTube, and someone, I just like said hi in one of her chats, and like some name I've never seen before. It was like Stacy C or something, was like, "Excuse me, Al, I thought you were like way better than that. Why are you here saying hi?" or something. And I was like, well, first of all, you're here too, apparently. And I was like, I don't know who you are. That's really creepy that you just like care so much.
Found you and was able to determine that your value as a human, right? Like, I'm so disappointed in you, or I can't believe you're not who I thought you were. Or I got the same comments today. Like, I thought you were, this was my favorite comment. Listen, this is the best. I thought you were one of the good ones.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Like, what is a good one? What is a good one? I'm just me, and I like to talk, and I like to chat, and I like to, go back and forth about different ideas and thoughts. And, there's some things I like, there's certain people I like to laugh with, there's certain people I like to debate with. One of the good ones, this is not freaking, I don't know, Thundercats or whatever. One of the, there's no good guys, bad guys. That doesn't exist here. I say it all the time. There is no, and these like little battles that are happening, these little wars, whether it's in the drama community, the drama, whatever. There's always long histories. There's always a ton of shit that's gone down, and there is literally no victims. Everybody is equally responsible for the bullshit, and I stand by that. And until one person stops, it will just keep going on. But then it's content, and if you like it, and that I think Terry said, you get that instant gratification and that dopamine hit from the attention it brings, then so be it. But at least own up to it. At least say that's why you're doing it. Not that you don't want to be doing it.
I can't believe someone said, I thought you're one of the good ones. Like, what? So are they saying you're a bad person? They don't know.
Yeah, I'm a bad person,
know
I guess.
Your name. They know nothing about you. People just are way too invested.
Yeah, way too. Shift. I don't think nobody lied. It wasn't a matter of anybody lying. It was an interaction between two adults that they worked out, that other people kind of jumped in on. Well, it happened on a live stream, so of course people can jump in on it. And I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I mean, even I had said in that chat this should be done on a live stream, but that's neither here nor there. But people were saying that Jen Lu did something she didn't. That's all. It was that simple. I was just correcting something that I saw with my own eyes, heard with my own ears. So I knew I was speaking from a reference, a real thing that happened, and said, that is not what happened. That is not what she said. And that was it. And that snowballed, as usual.
And then
what kind of a one are you? I am, and I'm a simp. Well, I mean, simp is not the worst thing I've been called, I guess.
That's my response was, you obviously don't know Audie if you think she's simping for anybody.
I mean, I simp for myself.
Yeah.
That's about it. What kind of one are you? Well, what kind of one am I? I am one of I guess I'm one of the bad guys now. Let's see. If I could be a villain, who would I be? I would like to be like a Maleficent, or maybe, who else is there? I can't think of one right now.
All right, I'm back. Sorry. I can tell because you guys are both moms, but like the second that I'm trying to talk, not just here, but like on the phone, they want a snack. Like, it's always, give me a snack. I need a snack. Sorry.
Yep. No, you're right. It's same thing. Like, can I have my computer back then since you're done? Anytime I'm on the phone, whether it's work or just private, that's when everybody needs something and the house comes alive again, so to speak.
Right.
But anyway, so I was thinking about this, and I was thinking about like how on YouTube, it's kind of like what used to happen on Facebook, but I think Facebook's become so over censored and so over regulated that you can't even say you can't say anything on there. But where you get remember in the old Facebook groups where you would get the group could have been about leggings, but there would be this makeup or something, and there would be drama because of these groups that would just target individuals because of their choice in legging pattern or
Oh
their
my gosh.
mascara choice.
Yes.
Like,
I was
yes, that is what this is like.
Oh my gosh,
I never got into that.
Facebook groups were like, I'm not really in as many anymore, but for a while, I'd say like from 2015, like I was in mom groups, I was in like all these like buying, like clothes, like ML, like LuLaRoe, even though I
Yeah.
didn't wear a
Yep.
lot of that, like all those groups, and they would have all these drama like spin-offs
Yes.
and
Yes.
vicious
Yes.
like spin-off groups, and it's harder because you're already like pre-doxed in these groups because it has your name
Yeah.
and your
Yeah.
picture, unless you're using a fake name, but no one really was. So
Not back then, at least. That was before I knew like about anything like that. People would go and look for your information or find out or go to your friends and look at who you're friends with, and then that was that. I wasn't savvy like that when it came to that stuff. But that is what this reminds me of because I mean it happens even in like but which is kind of funny to me though is like the town Facebook groups. Again, I haven't been on Facebook in a very very long time, but there is a guy on TikTok that always finds like these really funny like stories because somebody will post something about like the garbage and then all of a sudden there would be like all the pro garbage men versus the anti garbage men, women, whatever people fighting about it, and it's like, oh my god, it's about like what size trash can you can have. Are you like, this is insane. That is exactly what I feel like we see here.
I agree. Yeah, like
Yeah.
next door is kind
I
of
agree, Savage.
like
I
that.
agree 100%.
I agree with Savage too. I was
Yep.
just talking, or we were just talking about this somewhere, where I feel like there's got to be a new platform. I mean, I know there's a bunch of different streaming platforms anyway, but I don't know much about them. But like YouTube has just kind of gotten ridiculous, and more people, I think, are kind of into this live streaming sort of, or maybe they've always been, but I've only known about it for like 2 years. And there's just a lot that YouTube needs to like fix or could fix about it and make it
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, because what we're seeing, I think, maybe it isn't, maybe it's just because I'm seeing it, okay, because I'm seeing it more here, like more locally, so to speak. But I feel like in the last maybe 6 months, more than ever in my time spent on YouTube, like people are involving law enforcement and stuff a lot more about things. Some warranted, some not, in my opinion. Okay, that's my opinion. But that also is going to eventually catch up because law enforcement, if that's happening to this degree in such small communities, I can only imagine what's happening in these much much bigger ones, and it's going to get to a point where YouTube's going to have to take some accountability for it because it's a lot of wasting
Well,
law enforcement's time and resources.
it is because, I mean, I have a friend who's a probation officer and her husband's a DA, or he was a DA. Now he does some other type of law. But I actually called her once for advice, not for me, but for someone else who was like getting threatened with like pretty severe doxing. And we were kind of chit-chatting about it, and she's like, yeah, there's really not a lot you can do because like like how they say you can contact the FBI and do whatever sort of form fill out thing. She's like, they can't even keep up with all the CP type stuff that's like the real
the
crime.
actual
They don't have enough manpower to deal with half of that. And
never mind like some like women or men fighting about some ridiculous nonsense on a
right,
drama
exactly.
channel
Oh
or
my
true
God.
crime channel. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the laws, I guess, like they've said, I've heard this said many many times, just cannot keep up with like how quickly like social media is growing and evolving and like the access, right? Like I mean, I probably shouldn't even say this, but like I just recently got a VPN. I didn't even think like, oh, that's something that would be necessary. But then I like started seeing things, and there was like my job was given a special thing, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take advantage of this because people are like somehow able to identify, at least find out where you are. So
You remember
it's
Troopy?
just,
Every live stream was, I'm
oh
following IC3, IC3, IC3.
yes, but I heard he was back. and that he was in. If anybody remembers this,
Oh, Lord.
if Manda Lynn is still here, I think it might have been from your guys' side that I heard somebody say he was he was lurking around a community and had been in some chats and stuff.
Well, there were people that were
Yeah.
speculating he was this one guy that um was he was on Will's panel a few times that has a channel. I can't remember the name, but they're saying like, oh, it sounds just like him.
Sorry, guys.
But I didn't think it did. I mean, I thought it sounded a little like him, but not.
I don't think Will would at this stage of the game because he's grown
that
and stuff.
too.
I don't think he would ever in a year risk that.
Well, I
don't think he would
agree,
ever do
but some people
Yeah.
were swearing it was him, and I was like, I don't think so. But I can't remember the guy's name though.
Well, I know, like, obviously, you know, I've, without zero evidence or proof or anything, just me and my own brain thinking, have certainly thought a few individuals were not who they say they were other people like lurking and stuff, but without any, obviously, I would never share that or put it out there without any evidence. But but yeah, somebody did say by his name, like said it was that truth he was, and I shouldn't have even said it without knowing, but I feel like somebody, if anybody knows what I'm talking about, they'll comment.
I mean, I bet he's back because, or I mean, not, I don't bet, but I wouldn't be surprised either because people said he kind of did that same thing before.
I was gonna say he has a history of like doing like these
like
stuff
Yeah,
on
he was
social
in the
media like
cooking
that.
community.
Yes,
Cooking community.
he was in the cooking
Interesting.
community. Apparently, I don't know what his name was, but I mean, I don't
That's
think
so
he
funny.
faked his own death
Yeah.
to get out of that one, but I think he just pissed off enough people to
I know, but it's like we can laugh about it because it's that ridiculous, but this is the stuff that happens. I mean,
Right.
geez, it's not, and that's not like, okay, that's one example. I have come across other examples of people doing that, you know, where there's been like this, you know, faking of deaths and
Oh, yeah.
self-harm and other stuff. And I'm just like, wow, this is rampant. I think Savage said it earlier. Like, there is so much mental illness, like, untreated, I should say. Mental illness alone is not the issue. It's the untreated mental illness. Um, flooding, you know, YouTube
I
in
agree,
particular.
Savage. I think the true crime community is
I
the
agree.
pre-recorded
Yes.
professional
Right, like,
acting
Yes.
people.
Absolutely.
Like Annie, 10 to Life, like she, or like the Stephanie
She's stuck with
Harlow's.
it. Yep, Stephanie Harlow. Yes, I agree. That chapter, all of them. Yeah.
The only, like, okay, so one channel that I can say, because I saw her from the very beginning of her channel that actually does true crime and like sticks to it, is Crime Lines and Lies, Brooke's channel. Like, she actually, you know how Brooks like started that Michael Long group, and
I didn't even know they were. I didn't even know they were still around, to be quite honest. But I didn't know they were still streaming. But that's good. Then that means I didn't know there has been any drama or anything over there.
Right,
So that's,
but
that's
I
a good
barely
thing.
see. My thing is too, like, I'm interested in crime content, like podcasts and documentaries, but so much of the YouTube stuff, it's like rehashing the same stuff, or like with this like Idaho case, for example. It's like, let's all hear about one unsubstantiated rumor, and every channel is going to talk about the same thing and discuss the same thing, and it's not even like established as fact.
Well,
it just seems like a waste of time to me.
Yes.
But
And I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm not sure if it was you or Hope that said it. It's the I think when you have ongoing investigations, right? Savage just said people want to play detectives, they're involving themselves. It's like with the whole tragedy pimps and stuff. Exactly. Like the ongoing cases, that is, yes, you can call yourself true crime because you're talking about a crime, but you don't care about the crime. You care about the drama surrounding it. And when you're live streaming, you're having things happen in real time that you have no control over. So what's happening in the chat, yes, to a certain degree with mods, of course, but there's going to be things that are said, and that's how we stir up the drama, right? So that's truly what that's about. But whereas the pre-recorded stuff, where you have a story that you're telling, right? You're talking about a case, you're telling a story, you're providing facts, evidence. Yes, there may be lingering questions, and it's open for discussion, like down in the chat. But you can't do that. You can't do that live. You cannot do that live.
No.
It just doesn't work. We've tried it. We hope tried it,
Well,
you know?
exactly. And also, like, to me, so I find something troubling, I'll see my Facebook, or I'm sorry, my YouTube feed start getting filled with like the same names of like whatever the du jour crime cases. But then it's really hard. And as much as I hate to do it because I really don't like Annie Elise for reasons related to the long case, but I will go there because she at least does a video where it's like, this is the facts of the case. Otherwise, it's just these people like will start jumping in and talking about all these cast of characters. And I'm like, I don't like, can you just like give me a summary? But even the ones that try to do a summary, it's just like, I don't need a 4-hour live stream summary, you know? So that's just
Yeah.
my personal like pet peeve with it. It's like everyone's talking about something and there's no like jumping off point if I was even
Exactly.
going to get into it.
Well, because the idea is to to rile people up, and then of course super chats and all that kind of stuff that comes with it. But that comes with the yelling and the fighting and the disagreements happening in real time. It doesn't happen pre-recorded where you can edit things. That's what people are like, "Ooh, I can't wait to watch what's going to happen next." Not because of the case, because of the people covering it, you know?
Right. Yeah, and like, and I agree, like there is a lot, like there's a lot of focus on kids cases, which I get people
Mhm.
are passionate about, but it gets, I don't know. It's like the other day, I'm sorry, I just have to harp on Will for a second. He was talking about this girl, the one in Texas with the UPS or FedEx driver,
Oh, the
and
little girl.
yeah, and
Oh,
he was
so
saying there
sad.
was, I know, it's awful.
So sad.
There was other kids he got charged with, and he's like, share this before I make sure there's like no names, because I don't want to share any names because of their, abuse victims or whatever, which of course it should be like that. But how much did he talk about the Long family and like those kids' names, show their pictures, make them their
Of
thumbnail,
course.
like talk
But,
about like their SANE exams, like all this stuff. I was like, what a double standard,
well, yeah, or he could. I'll give people the benefit of the doubt, say they've learned from their mistakes, but I don't know. I don't know. I have not watched him, so I have no idea what he's been up
I
to.
I mean, I don't either. I just happen to catch, if I'm bored and there's nothing.
Hmm.
But no, he
And I
hasn't,
think
because he
like
still
for
has his
that.
content up.
Oh, he does.
I think so.
He
He
still
still
has.
has.
Oh, shame on him.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he still has everything
Ooh.
still up on his channel.
Well, that's a really like, because I do think like when you're going to be very niche like that, like true
Mm-hmm.
crime, for example, um, it could be knitting, it could be anything, it could be music, but you are going to learn as you go. But true crime is unique because you're dealing with lives, humans. Like you have to be, have a little bit of tact and grace because these are real people. We're not talking about pots and pans and candle scents. So we have to,
Well, and we're going in the direction of less tact and grace. Because, like, when we did the Watts case or the ML case, we weren't, I mean, I think with the Long case, there was definitely involvement from outside parties that affected things, but, there wasn't with the Watts case. And I just think, as with the Summer Wells case, it got even worse, the involvement. And then the Clinton, it just like,
yeah, kind of snowballed. Yeah. and
yeah,
and I think people saw like overnight, like these channels that were small, kind of channels that would live stream and talk about certain things. They would just hit that algorithm at the right time and blow up with these hot topic social media cases, like the ones
yeah.
that maybe it wasn't talked about as much on the news, but was definitely all over social media. And people, saw that and said, well, I want a piece of that too, you know? And yes, and I think COVID definitely, so everybody being home, gave us time on our hands, and that definitely contributed to more and more people getting involved. I think in just YouTube alone, and looking for interaction, right? Because that's why I like going into chats and stuff, is so that I can talk with the people in the chat, talk with the people on the panel, or it's because I want to have an adult conversation. Unfortunately, sometimes it just
That's
doesn't
back when you were on
happen.
the good side.
Yes, when I was on the good side, now I'm on the dark side. I guess I'm a bad one. I'm a bad one.
Yeah,
So
thought you were a good one.
Thought it was a good one, and I'm a bad one. So does anybody have any fun New Year's plans?
No. I
Me either.
actually, we were invited to a party at our friend's house, but they said adults only. And I was like, I don't even feel like looking for a babysitter
Yeah.
because that's going to be hard. And I just don't like to spend the money because babysitters are so
Absolutely.
expensive these days.
Oh my God, that should be my
Well,
job.
I know, right? And I do like this couple a whole lot. They're really fun and they live close by. Well, now they said they have someone that will babysit. Um, so we can come, and I'm like, I mean, I guess I was like getting like excited about the idea of like not having to do anything, but
Yeah, I'm really, yeah, I'm kind of glad that Hubs is at work because I don't want to do anything. I haven't done anything on New Year's other than maybe go out to dinner early and then come home in a very,
Mhm.
very long time. I just am so over that.
I am too.
Um,
I'm a homebody. Like I
Me
mean,
too.
I
That's what
just
I am now.
and part of it is not even well, half of it is the energy. Sorry if you hear background. My kids got a hold of bubble wrap. And they're stomping on it. But yeah, I don't know, spending the money and like having to like put my hair up and do all that stuff is like I don't know, it's not worth it most of
I
the
know.
time.
I know. And it's a lot of work. I took tomorrow. Well, I'm off. I'm going in on Friday just for a little bit because one of my colleagues is her last day. So we're having like a little lunch for her and stuff. But other than that, I'm off this week. And, I go back in on Tuesday. And tomorrow I was like, I'm going to bring the kids. Well, my big one doesn't need a babysitter, but I'm bringing them both to so that I could just have a day to like the house gonna get cleaned and I'm gonna go get my nails done and like do all that. But like at like 8 in the morning, one appointment, 9 in the morning, next appointment, so I can be home and like comfy and settled and relaxed by 12 noon before I have to go get the kids again. That's like the perfect day to me now. I don't.
Well, for me, I would love to do like at noon, like could we celebrate New Year's at noon? Like I'm all about the day drinking. Like I'll do
Me too. Me
mimosas or
too.
Bloody Marys and then like hang out during the day. If it were nice out, obviously, it's not really usually nice out on New Year's Eve,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like
yeah. Not here either.
patio or doing something fun. And then like you come home and then you can just kind of veg and order pizza and like go to bed at a recent hour. That's like how
I
I
agree.
think New Year should be.
That's what I always say about like there's certain things that I feel like we should redesign as like a holiday. Like Halloween should always be the last Saturday of October. That's
Right.
number one.
Well, can I, sorry
Super
to
Bowls
interrupt
should be on
first.
Saturdays, not Sundays. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right. Oh, I was gonna say, so I didn't realize this, but someone posted on Facebook in like one of my neighborhood groups, they're like, we're new to the area. Does this neighborhood do trick or treating on actual Halloween or do they do it the Saturday before? And I was like, I've never heard
Oh,
of anyone doing it the Saturday before. And I was talking to someone else. They were like, yeah, a lot of areas of the Midwest do it like that.
oh,
Um, I
interesting.
guess it just depends on the neighborhood. And
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, I've never heard of people doing that, but it's a
Oh,
really good idea because
it
this year my
really
kids were
is.
like a total hot mess the next day.
Yep, yep.
Like,
It
because it
was the
was
middle.
Monday.
Yep. It was terrible. I just like
Right.
wanted to be done with the day and be done with it.
Savage
But
putting a bra on. That's like a
I
big
know.
challenge, like,
I know
especially
this is what
one
happens as we get
that
older, I
has
guess.
a class.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Well, I know that you know, I kind of came in here a little guns blazing and I was a little fired up, but it was just because I was just kind of stewing a little bit. Like I said, I had too much time on my hands and I just am frustrated with the what I see sometimes and when you do speak out about your frustrations or when you call something out rightfully or justfully in my opinion, then you become some sort of I don't know, it's just very like I like hearing people out. Even the people that I don't necessarily consider like somebody that I would typically, talk to, if they're saying something that I feel like, oh, you know what? Let me just listen. Maybe they're going to make a good point. Maybe I'm going to learn something or hear something I didn't know. But everybody's just on the defense. And I think Savage had said before about like people come to YouTube to take out their aggressions. I think there's definitely something to that. where like if you have a lot of stressors and things going on in your real life, it is easy to come on here and kind of sort of lash out because there is a certain degree of anonymity. And that could, people can use that as a way to just kind of vent, so to speak, but unfortunately, they may be taking it out on other people.
Mm-hmm, for sure. And I think a lot of
Learning
people
from.
too, since a lot of streams are in the evening, they'll like have cocktails before they get online or whatnot, and then they're
Oh
just
yeah.
like meaner and braver with what they say.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That I've learned my lesson. I never got mean or brave. I was just silly, but I learned my lesson on cocktailing and live paneling.
Oh yeah,
Bree, you're
I've
gonna be fireworking. That sounds lovely. Enough to feed a third world country. Oh, feed a person, not the whole country. Okay.
uh, I
God.
feel
Yeah, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. It was just kind of bothering me. And then I saw that quote and it made me think of like, that's what it made me think of. It made me think of YouTube. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of like what we're seeing is that there's this like propaganda, maybe a little bit of a strong word, but it's definitely that mob mentality or the double standards, hypocrisy, selective outrage, all the buzzwords,
well
But
the
it
other
is sort of propaganda when you have these quote unquote cults.
the other
That's
day.
what happens.
Oh, sorry, I'm like being really bad about
No, you're not. Not at all.
interrupting.
No, stop. Don't. I do the same thing.
I know, I get really excited. It's my ADD where I like can't hold back. Um, and now I forgot. Oh yeah, I was gonna say the other day I made a comment on one of Lycan's posts, and it was like a little bit snarky, but it wasn't not towards Lycan, but towards someone that like came onto his post and wrote something, um, just rude, like whatever. They don't like him, so they wrote something, and I wrote something back. And my God, this person like she went off. She told me I was unhinged. She wrote her email address down and was like, "You sound like you need a friend." And I was like saying nothing
Oh
because
my
I
god.
think it's like when you're calmer, or you're like just more like even keel that it makes it matter. But I mean, she was just like saying your husband must hate you and you want
Oh my
lichens,
god.
whatever.
Oh.
You're pining at like all this stuff. You're a desperate housewife, and I'm like,
Mm.
wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Really, was that's the kind of thinking that I was referencing earlier. Is like that's a lot of conjecture, right? And it's a lot of
Right.
making these like labels and type and giving you this identity that they know nothing about you. They don't know if you have a husband, a wife, if you're a nun. They don't know anything about you, and we see this a lot. We see it a lot. It's too much. It's just frustrating. I'm just not going to stay quiet anymore. If I see something, I'm saying something. I'm done like trying to protect other people's feelings,
Mm-hmm.
which maybe I've done to a certain degree because I just don't want, or there's times I just don't want to engage. I just don't want to be part of it. But when something is so blatant, if I see it and I know that what I'm seeing either happened or didn't happen, and it's somebody that I think deserves to have like their truth, like you know what I mean, like it's somebody that I know is a good person. I'm not gonna just stay quiet. It's just I can't. It bothers me, and it's just not who I am.
Right. And I don't understand what savage comment means, but I mean, this person was a troll account. I've never seen him before. And I don't know. I just think it's really like, I mean, you can go back and forth and banter with someone without just like immediately jumping to like, these personal attacks when
Yeah, well, that's the
there's
thing.
nothing.
It's the ad hominems. It's that
Exactly.
personal.
It's the ad
It's
hominem.
yep. It's the It is one thing to disagree, and sometimes there's no resolution. We can just like just agree to disagree, but that's one thing, and that's reasonable. That's what we should do. We should have healthy discourse and debate. But if your entire argument is based on that I'm fat or that I'm ugly or that I'm lonely or that whatever, then it's based then no, then I'm sorry, you're not making a point. You don't have a point. You just don't like who you don't like, or you just don't like what I'm saying, or you just don't like what I'm doing. You have no reason to explain why, or you can't back up what you're saying, so you just jump right to those what did they say? It's
Well,
low hanging fruit or whatever. It's like attacking somebody's parenting because they, maybe have disagreed about, let's just say, politics. You know,
right. And
it's
here's
it's crazy.
what I've thought about too is like there are plenty people like I know Savage like certain people that I don't like and vice versa, and like other people that I'm in discords with, and like we're cordial and stuff like that because I know how I feel about a certain creator that they dislike is how I can't word this right.
I know what you mean.
But like how they feel about their favorite creator or whatever is how I feel about mine. And like there's no changing anyone's mind really.
That's
Like you can
the
tell
thing.
me till you're blue in the face, this, that, and the other. So that's kind of pointless to be like, you support someone who does this, that must mean you're that. It's like, well, I feel the same way about you and we can just coexist. It's almost like politics, So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah.
um
It's just a coexisting, and the fact of the matter is, it's really not that serious. Like these are, like I always say, these people are not watching our kids. They're not performing heart surgery. They're not transplanting a kidney. They're not cooking your meal. They're not, they're
right.
not accessing your bank account.
They're not
It is
marrying
not
my
that serious.
sister, right? They're
Even that, or your best friend,
I
So like,
don't
it's just, yeah, just move on.
and if I am okay with something that they do that someone else isn't, you can call or think I'm a bad person, but does it really matter? Where I'm not going to meet like 99.9% of the people on here. So
Yeah,
it's just,
exactly. You're not.
I'm like, I don't know.
They won't be getting asked to be the bridesmaid. That's for sure.
Right.
It's
Exactly.
it's so, in the end, it's so sweet.
Right.
Hey, Steph.
Um, well, I'm sorry I blocked the person that made the comment that you had, the argument or what you were talking about. Hold on, sorry. I'm
Yep,
getting the mom
yep.
thing.
I know it's okay. Yeah, Terry, I agree. I agree. Like, I think it's easy or said than done. Like when you're in the middle of something and there's some contentious, disagreement, or this back and forth happening, and you're living it. I know it's much easier for me to say on the outside, like, just if it's bothering you so much and it's upsetting you so much and it's affecting your quote unquote real life, then just step away. I mean, that is my philosophy. Maybe one day I'll be confronted with that and I'll have to make that choice. But if you're just here to have fun, which really is what I'm here for, then again, it's just not that serious. Oh, that's okay, Mia. I'm going to wrap up anyway. I just wanted to come on for a little bit. I figured I'd go live for about an hour, just catch up with everybody. I hope everybody had a beautiful Christmas. If you celebrated our Hanukkah, because I know Hanukkah ended on Christmas Day. And hey, Dallas, and is going to have a lovely New Year. I'm excited for 2023. I hope it's better. I'm a little, I mean, I don't even want to say it, but there's just a lot of germs going around. And I know there's like a lot of talk of the COVID numbers spiking again, and then start and all of that stuff. And uh, it's just, there's a lot of sick people. Um, so I hope everybody is healthy and happy and has a prosperous new year. And I hope that we can maybe all just, sometimes when we're ready to respond in defense of another adult, myself included, maybe take a step back and think about everything before we start firing off at the hip. Like I said, like with the, name calling and the personal attacks and things like that. It's just, it doesn't need to go there. I like to think that a lot of us are much more intelligent than that, and we can hold some healthy discourse. But I really appreciate you all for being here and kibitzing with me. It was lovely, a lovely afternoon, a lovely happy hour, so to speak. That's what we should do next time. Next time we'll do a happy hour. Me either, Hope. Yeah, teacher mom, yeah, here, I don't think it was the flu, thank God. I feel like we would have been a lot sicker, but it was definitely something, and it was running rampant. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in chat. I'm just scrolling through. Do, 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 do. I don't think so. Yeah, the strep's going around bad too. I think like 2 weeks ago, every person that came into our ED was with flu-like symptoms, but like any like upper respiratory things, every single one of them tested positive for flu A. And they had to recalibrate the machine because they were like, there is this possible? And it was, everything was positive. So it has definitely been a wicked year. But we knew that was going to happen post the no flu when everybody was like, shut in at home and masked up and people were being extra cautious with their hand washing and all that stuff. People have gotten a little bit of lax. Forget about the masking stuff. I'm not even going down that road, but just trust me, people have even gotten lax with the hand washing. You may have not, but other people have, trust me. And that's what we're going to see. Oh, all right, guys. Have a fabulous rest of your Wednesday, your hump day. And maybe I will see everybody next week, maybe Monday. I'll go live because I'm home, I'm off. And we'll see what we all got into over this last week and how everybody's New Year's was. Take care, everybody. Bye.